Pillar 2 is a framework for a global minimum tax charge for large multinational entities. And whilst a lot of my family office or private clients might not consider themselves to be a large MNE, it doesn't mean that the legislation won't apply to them. If the income is above the €750 million threshold, they may well find that 15% minimum tax does apply to the group. But let's just step back and think about things from a practical perspective. Well, the starting point is considering the group, and the first step to that is deciding what the ultimate parent company is. And that isn't always as straightforward as it sounds, and nor is deciding the perimeter of what's within the group for these purposes. And that can be even more complicated for private clients or family offices, where we see different types of legal entities used quite regularly. So an example of that would be a trust. In some territories, a trust can be considered to be opaque, whereas in a different jurisdiction, it might be transparent. And that creates some uncertainty as to what's in and what's out for these purposes. Once you do understand the position, there may be some really simple structuring opportunities that allow you to align to the Pillar 2 requirements. It's also really important to consider Pillar 2 in the context of acquisitions and transactions that the family office or the group might be undertaking. And that's both as you're going through an acquisition process from a diligence perspective and considering the consequences of different structuring on acquisition, but also the impact that any of those acquisitions might have on the overall analysis of the group from a Pillar 2 perspective. And my final cautionary word would be in relation to the data. We already have so many onerous data requirements that are born out of tax obligations, and this is another one. And while some organisations might be set up to easily access all of that data, others won't. And understanding what's required early on so that you can work internally to gather that and make sure that it's an efficient process when required is a step that I would definitely encourage clients to take. So that's it in a nutshell. Pillar 2 is already here, and it's a step in the direction of a global framework for tax.